Good morning, students. Say your prayer. தேங்க்யூ. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகும் தந்தையாகும் மிருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகும் தந்தையாகும் மிருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகும் தந்தையாகும் மிருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Yeah, come to page number 243. Today we are going to see the next topic, fundamental duties. So in our previous class we saw the fundamental rights. Okay va? So while enjoying the rights you have to know your duty also. So you are enjoying your rights, but at the same time you have to do your duty properly. So for that you have to know what are the fundamental duties. Okay va? So in this class we will learn about the fundamental duties which are enshrined, so that is which are mentioned in our constitution. So move into the lesson. So in our previous class we discussed about writ. So what is a writ? Yeah, so writ is an order or command issued by a court in writing under its seal. So it is in the nature of a command or prohibition. So the writ may be a command or a prohibition. So from performing certain acts, so that are specified in the orders of the court. So writ is nothing but a command or a prohibition. Yeah, so that means to do a work or to stop a work. So that is writ. So that was issued by court. Okay. So there are 5 kind of writs. What are they? Yeah, habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, then quo warranto. So we saw them, we discussed about them in detail in our previous class. Then we saw when was the fundamental rights was suspended. So the suspension of fundamental rights. So who can suspend fundamental rights? Yeah, only the president. Yeah, so president with the approval of parliament can suspend the fundamental rights if there is national emergency. Okay, so according to the situation, president can suspend the fundamental rights. Then we discuss about the directive principles of state policy. So it means, so the state or a government, so while deciding a policy, have to think, have to keep some principles with them. So that is called as directive principles of state policy, and that was divided into 3 categories. So what are they? Yeah, socialistic principle, Gandhian principle, and liberal and intellectual principle. Okay va? So in today's class we will discuss about the fundamental duties. So Indian constitution have several sources in other constitutions. So Indian constitution was formed by taking the sources, by taking the important points from the sources of various countries' constitution. Okay, so likewise the fundamental duties in our constitution are inspired by the constitution of former USSR. Okay, USSR means so former Russia. Okay, so the fundamental duties in Indian constitution are derived from the former USSR. Okay, so in 1976, so the Congress party so appointed a committee. In 1976, the Congress party appointed a committee under the name, so under the leadership of Sardar Swaran Singh. Okay, so in 1976, the Congress party set up a committee called as Sardar Swaran Singh Committee in order to make recommendations on fundamental duties. So Sardar Swaran Singh Committee to make the recommendation on fundamental duties. Okay, so in 1976, Amendment Act was passed. That is the 42nd Amendment Act was passed, which add some responsibilities of citizens to our constitution. That is called the fundamental duties. So in 1976, the 42nd Amendment Act was introduced, which add some responsibilities to the citizens of India, which was called as fundamental duties. So this amendment, so that is the 42nd Amendment Act, added a new part, so namely part 4A to the constitution. So part 4 mentions the directive principles of state policy. So part 4A so mentions the fundamental duties. So this part 4A consists of only one article, that is 51A. So this part 4A consists of only one article, 51A, for which specified for the first time a code of 10 fundamental duties. So in 1976 there is 10 fundamental duties. Okay, so in the year 2002 the 11th fundamental duty was added. Yeah, but in the year 1976 only 10 fundamental duties were added. So remember, when the constitution came into force, there is no fundamental duty. Okay, but only in the year 1976, so after the recommendation of Sardar Swaran Singh committee, 42nd amendment act was passed in the year 1976, so through which a new part 4A was introduced and contains only one article 51A, so that that added the fundamental duties to our constitution. Okay, so fundamental duties which are inspired by the constitution of former USSR. In 1976 Congress party formed that is set up the Sardar Swaran Singh committee. So based on the committee recommendation only, fundamental duty was added to the Indian constitution. So do you know any fundamental duty? Yeah, we are following some fundamental duties. Okay, so whenever the national anthem was played, means what will you do? Yeah, we stand up. So like this, so whenever we hoist the national flag, means so we saluted the national flag, no? So like that. Yeah, so there are some fundamental duties, so which we are following. Okay, so first, to abide by the constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. So to abide, so abide means accept or act in accordance with. That is, we have to accept and act in accordance with the constitution and respect the ideas and the institutions and the national flag and the national anthem. So that means we have to respect the constitution and also give respect and follows the principles in the constitution and also respects the flag and the national anthem. So we have to follow the principles. So we have to accept the constitution and respect the ideas and institutions and the national flag and the national anthem. Then second, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired the national struggle for freedom. To cherish, so cherish means so keep in one's mind. Okay, so that is you have to keep in mind about the noble ideas, so that flourished, that developed during the freedom struggle. So we have to keep in mind, so we have to remember the ideas, so national ideas that were developed, so that inspired the national struggle for freedom, and we have to follow those ideas. So we have to follow the ideas of national struggle, so national freedom struggle. Okay, so we have to follow the noble ideas that were developed during the period of independence struggle. Okay, so that is the second fundamental duty. Then third one, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. To uphold means here, so maintain or support. That is, you have to support and protect the sovereignty. So sovereignty means so nothing but so the power of a state to govern itself. So the power of a state to govern itself. That means so India can take decision by its own. So no country can interfere in the India's decision. Okay, so India can take decision by its own. So that is the power of sovereignty. Then unity, so we are united. Then integrity, so integrity means so state of being whole, that is undivided. So though India is a multi state country, so there are several states, there are several religions, there are several culture, so several type of functions, several type of festivals was practiced in India. India is a united country. Okay, so this principle, so these things you have to maintain, so these things you have to support and protect them. So this is your third duty. Okay, so the first duty is to respect the national flag and national anthem. Then second, to follow to support and follow the ideas that were developed during the national struggle for freedom. Then third one, to protect the unity of our country, so to support and protect the unity of the country. Then fourth one, to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. So to defend the country and render, that is provide service, so national service when called upon to do so. So that means if there is any problem, so if there is any situation that arises which need your help, means you have to go and serve the country. Okay, so if there is any situation in which your service is needed. So in which your service is required means you have to do your service, you have to give your service to the country. Okay va? So that is your another important duty. The next fundamental duty, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic and regional or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. That is to promote harmony. So harmony means so the quality of forming, that is or pleasing or consisting whole. Yeah, that is you have to please the people to develop the spirit of common brotherhood. That means you have to develop common brotherhood among the people. So you have to develop common brotherhood, you have to unite the people through the feelings of, through the spirit of common brotherhood. So because India have a transcending religious culture, that is there are several religions followed in this country, and also there are several languages spoken in this country. Yeah, there are different sections, there are different regions. Okay, so even though there are so different culture among the people, so we have to develop common brotherhood among the people of India. Okay, then to renounce practices. So to renounce, so renounce means refuse to continue or reject. So you have to reject the practices, so that derogatory. So derogatory means so showing a critical or disrespectful attitude. That means so you have to give up the practices that causes dignity of women. So dignity of women means so the quality which was affected, so dishonor of women. Okay, so you have to give up the practices so which affect the quality of women, which dishonor the women. So you have to give up those practices. Okay, so first you have to develop common brotherhood among the people of India, though there are multi-diverse culture. So there are diverse type of culture, so multi-culture system followed in India. So you have to develop a common brotherhood. Then another thing, so you have to give up the practices, so you have to stop the practices so which gave dishonest, that means which affect the quality of women. Okay, so you have to give up such practices. Then to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. So you have to value, so that is you have to respect. Okay, and preserve, that is you have to protect the rich heritage of our composite culture. So composite means so made of several parts. Okay, so so India's culture is not a single one, it is a multiple one. So you have to respect each and every culture and protect it. Okay, then seventh duty, so to protect and improve the natural environment. So it was everyone's duty to protect and improve the natural environment, so which include forest, lakes, rivers and wildlife. You have to protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lakes, rivers and wildlife. That means you have to protect the forest, then you have to protect lakes, rivers and wildlife, and also you have to have compassion for living creatures. So compassion means so sympathy. So you have sympathy for living creations. Okay, you have to protect the natural environment. Okay, so that is also your fundamental duty. Next, to develop scientific temper, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform. So scientific temper means so using scientific knowledge. So that is you have to use your scientific knowledge. Okay, so don't believe whatever said by others. So just think scientifically. So that is your duty. Okay, so that is your knowledge. Okay, so to develop scientific temper, scientific knowledge, humanism, that is give importance to humans. Okay, so don't give importance to the superstitious beliefs, that is unimaginary things. Okay, so don't believe the superstitious beliefs. Okay, so just think about humans. And the spirit of inquiry, so inquiry means so just ask questions by yourself. Okay, so inquiry means just ask questions by yourself, and so you can improve your knowledge. And reform, okay, so that is try to change the existing things. Okay, so it is also your duty. You have to develop scientific temper, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform. Okay, so just recall the fundamental duties one by one. So first you have to respect the national flag, national anthem, etc. Then you have to follow the ideas that was developed during the freedom struggle. Then third, you have to protect the unity and integrity of the country. Then fourth one, to defend the country and give your service whenever required. Then fifth one, you have to develop a common brotherhood among the people, and you have to give the practices that affect the honor of women. Then fifth one, you have to preserve the rich heritage culture of our country. Then next one, to protect the and improve the natural environment. Okay, then seventh one, to develop eighth one only. So to develop scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. Then to safeguard public property and to observe violence. So observe means to avoid, because you have to safeguard public property. You have to protect them. You have to stay away from violence. You should not damage any public property, because public property is nothing but which was brought or which was constructed through the money paid by the people as tax. Okay, so you have to protect the public property. So you have to safeguard the public property and to observe violence. So you should not follow violence. So because India achieved freedom only through the policy of non-violence. So Mahatma Gandhi's great policy, non-violence. So you have to maintain that principle also. So you have to avoid violence. Then 10th one, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. To strive, so strive means make great effort. Okay, so to make great effort, so in order to develop all round knowledge in an individual. Okay, so to develop, that is to make great effort, to develop the excellent knowledge, so in an individual. Okay, so to develop, that is to make effort, to try to make effort to develop the knowledge of an individual and his collective responsibility, so that he can or she can help in developing the country. Okay, so that she or he can develop the country to the higher levels of endeavor. So endeavor means, so try hard to do or achieve something, that is to achieve something, and also to achievement. Okay, so you have to develop, you have to make effort, great effort to develop a person's, a individual's collective responsibility, so that his service will help our country in future. So that is your 10th fundamental duty. Then the last one, so to provide opportunities for education to his child or ward between the age of 6 and 14 years, that is maybe parent or a guardian. So you have to give chance, you have to provide opportunities for the children who are age between 6 to 14 have getting education. Yes, you have to provide opportunities for the children between the age of 6 to 14 to get their elementary education. Yeah. So this fundamental duty was added in the year 2002 through the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 has introduced the 11th fundamental duty under Article 51A(k). Okay, so under which all the citizens of India or parents shall provide opportunities for education to their children between age of 6 and 14 years. Okay, so between 6 to 14 years age children, we have to, that is parents and guardians have to provide education. We have to provide opportunities for them to get education. Okay, so this is the last fundamental duty which was added in the year 2002 through the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so when and how was the remaining fundamental duties were added? Yeah, through 42nd Amendment Act in the year 1976. So the fundamental duties were added. Okay, okay students, we have discussed the fundamental duties. So in which year the fundamental duties was introduced? Yeah, in 1976 through the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, so initially how many fundamental duties were there? Yeah, 10. Okay, so there are 10 fundamental duties. Then the 11th one was introduced in the year 2002. So the 11th one is very important. Okay, so all the 11 duties we have to follow. Okay, so you have to give respect to the national flag, follow the ideas of the freedom struggle, then uphold and protect the unity of the country, then defend the country, then develop common brotherhood, then preserve the rich heritage of our culture, then so you should protect the natural environment, then you have to develop your scientific knowledge, and then you have to avoid violence. Then 10th one, you have to develop, that is you have to develop your knowledge. So all spheres in knowledge, individuals knowledge you have to develop. Then finally you have to provide opportunity for education to the children who are between age 6 to 14. Okay, so if you have any doubt, contact me. So for textbook reading today, read the list of fundamental duties. Okay, for textbook reading today, read the list of fundamental duties. And for writing homework, take page number 241. Yeah, that last column. So that is the last box. Differences between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. So it is a book back question. So question in page number 247. So fifth Roman letter, answer in detail. Fourth question. So mention the difference between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. So write it in your homework note. Okay, so once again, if you have any doubt, contact me. Okay, so thank you. Have a nice day.